Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to make a video today. There's just fireworks going on outside and it's just so annoying. I've recorded this intro so many times. What is a special occasion? Is something going on? Why is it getting louder? I'm actually so excited for today's video because it's going to be about appearance change and my beliefs surrounding my weight, how I stay slim, whatever. I think it could actually be very useful for me to talk about because I kind of do have it down when it comes to just maintaining my weight, and I understand it's a topic that a lot of people do struggle with. I have people coming up to me in real life all the time asking me how I stay slim, you know, what my diet is, do I go to the gym, etc, etc. I'm going to be handing over my beliefs and assumptions to you guys. Now obviously this is not a fitness channel, okay, if you couldn't tell. However, I'll be lying if I said that I didn't ever think about making one. First and foremost, I have to give you a little bit of a background story behind how these beliefs developed, because there's no point in me telling you what my beliefs surrounding my weight are today because it's going to sound awfully simple. It's going to be like, okay, but that doesn't work for me. So I kind of have to help you guys understand how these beliefs came into being to help you better understand why I'm able to still apply them today. I want to start off by saying I was actually not born in the UK. I was born in India and I came to this country when I was 8 years old. And the reason I'm mentioning this fact is that it was a huge culture shock to me. Very early on, I had developed this belief that I was different, okay? And I know a lot of people actually hold on to this belief. And I still hold on to it today, but it just has a positive connotation to it. I've given it a positive spin. Obviously, when I came to this country, couldn't speak a word of English. Everything was just a culture shock. Both my parents were immigrants and I was just a lost little girl. Everything was so different, especially the food. The food was just, I mean, we never really ate junk food, my cousins and I, in India. It wasn't a thing that we regularly had. And here I am, loner with a boner. And I just want to be accepted. I want my little cute ass to be accepted in school. I want to be friends with everyone. Can't speak the language. I feel different. I look different. It didn't help the fact that the first school I went to was predominantly white. And here I am, feeling so out of place. So we changed locations when I was younger. I moved to a different town. I went to a different school with different ethnicities, okay? And I had found my group of people. I didn't really think much about my weight. Now, I used to hang around with my male cousin a lot. I actually grew up with male cousins more than I hung around female cousins growing up. Therefore, I was a little bit of a tomboy. I mean, I am talking, I played cricket, I played football. I mean, I watched Dragon Ball Z. I played with those Beyblades. I played Pokemon cards. I played fucking Pokemon Red, Yellow, whichever one I had. I can't even remember the names because obviously I've blocked that part of my life. So my cousin, who I grew up with, ate a lot of junk food, okay? He got away with it somewhat. I thought it was normal to eat that much food. Like, my parents are the least sort of vain people. Overeating was just normalized. At home, I would just follow what my dad ate. My dad was still is a 95 kg man. My dad had 12 eggs for breakfast. Guys, I also had 12 eggs for breakfast when I was 8 years old. And that was my first breakfast of the day. Second breakfast came at 10 o'clock. Which was also a heavy ass meal. I was a big gal. I knew I was overweight, like I knew I had gained weight. Because I was such a tomboy, I didn't really care what I looked like who am I trying to impress at 8? So I remember going to high school, guys were horrible to me. This never happened with girls. I feel like girls were always nice to me, whereas guys were horrible. There was this one guy especially, he used to say, "You're fat, you're ugly, you're fat, you're ugly." It was just so frequent during PE lessons. Like, I started to feel it. I started to become more conscious of what I looked like. I remember once my mum asking me, you know, "Do you want to come shopping?" Nothing fit me. This is the first time I became conscious of the fact that I actually give a shit about my body. I think I must have been like 12, 13. I was also almost too embarrassed to speak to anyone about it. Like, I felt embarrassed even speaking to my mum about it. There were other things going on at home. Like, my childhood was so tumultuous that I thought my weight is the least of the issues that I have. I remember doing a science experiment at school and being super self-conscious. Like, you know, where you have to weigh yourself. I was like, oh my God, I do not want to get on the scales. Everything was just getting to me about my weight, basically, is what I'm trying to say. These things were just so embarrassing to me. I was embarrassed at the fact that I can't take care of myself, like, as if I'm supposed to have my shit together at the age of 14, but I'm still eating like a fucking beast. I was going on to 15. I grew up watching a lot of Bollywood movies, okay, a lot of Hindi movies. There was this one actress I was a huge fan of, and she had dropped down to a size 0. You know, I wanted to be her. I start imagining that I am also a size 0. So I would just come home from school and I would just imagine that I was this slim body type, okay? Obviously, all the other things that I've mentioned played a huge role in also helping me shift and triggering those emotions of wanting a change. We were literally going into 2009 and I was like, okay, I'm done. I committed to myself. What I did was I go online looking for ways to lose weight. And information, when I say it was scarce back then, like, there was nothing. There weren't YouTubers, there weren't fitness coaches, there was nothing. There was nothing to help me besides Yahoo Answers. And I actually typed this in Yahoo Answers. I was like, how do you lose weight? And people were like, calories in, calories out, which is correct. Someone's like, you know, you got to eat like smaller meals during the day. You have to eat only once a day. It was just opinions, basically. I mean, it still is, to be honest, because everyone's still arguing over what type of diet is better when it truly doesn't matter, but that's a whole different story. I don't know how to calculate my calories. There was no MyFitnessPal, there were no calorie calculators back then. You couldn't work out your maintenance calories. There was nothing. Since I can't track my calories, I'm just going to pretty much eat the same thing every single day, because that way I will know what works for me and what doesn't. Someone had written that it's quite bad to eat at night, and I don't know why that spoke out to me, because I had read that comment that eating late at night is bad for you. I just kind of took that to heart and I committed to me not eating late at night. I do realize this is where most people get their calories, because they get midnight munchies. I haven't snacked at midnight in I don't even know how long, because this is where you're adding on just shitload of calories you don't need. You don't need it. Get rid of it. I'm not a breakfast person, and I would just have a black coffee in the morning. I used to have my first snack at school. I used to have it around 11. So that was when I was technically having breakfast, okay? And I used to stop eating around 6:30. And I'm mentioning this stuff is because this is what we now refer to today as intermittent fasting. I was doing intermittent fasting, I swear to God, before intermittent fasting was even a thing. It's something I started to do unconsciously because I had given my mind an objective, which was to lose weight. Okay, so my mind just kind of started to figure these things out on its own. This is how powerful I feel your mind is, without me even having that information available to me on how to lose weight. And people still struggle, right? People do struggle with their weight, even though there's an abundant amount of information available on, you know, diet and fitness today. Information doesn't equal results. Application equals results. I did this, guys, like consistently for 5 months. I had lost 15 kg. I had dropped down from almost 60 kg to 45 kg, which is mad. Without the gym, I did work out. Okay, so I would just learn choreographies in my room. I would just watch like music videos and kind of emulate that, and that was my workout. When I had set the intention of like losing weight, there was this one PE lesson where it was raining and we couldn't go out. The PE teacher had put on Billy Blanks's Tae Bo workout. I went home and downloaded that workout illegally. When I say I was committed, I was committed. I don't want to just be thin. I want abs. I want to be chiseled. And here is me thinking I can do this without going to the gym, without a personal trainer, because the fuck, I'm 15, without counting my calories. In 5 months, I had abs. I have actually managed to get a better body at home than I have ever in the gym. I used to live literally, I used to open my door at uni and the gym was right there. Right, literally, it was a 1-second walk to the gym. And it was always empty, okay? But I still preferred working out in my room. Not because I'm like weirded out by people in the gym. Don't give a fuck. Don't really care. Although I've had the strangest experiences at the gym, I will say. But guys, it is possible. You don't need anything fancy schmancy. You give yourself a goal. You start bathing in it. Like, I would just see myself as having abs. I was married to this mental image and I was willing to do whatever. There were days I used to work out for 3 hours. It didn't feel like hard work to me. I think most people in life are able to lose weight, but the difficult part is the maintaining of it. And I'm going to help you with that. First and foremost, no one mentions this, but it's kind of bizarre to me. You need to have a belief or the assumption that weight is easy for you to manipulate. Because I was called fat and ugly in school, I had a fleeting thought one day, well, I can't change my face, but I can change my weight. And I believe myself. And the reason I'm saying this is because, see, when you have been dieting all your life and you're still not finding success, you might have built up so much resistance that you might at this point believe that it's difficult for you to lose weight. Like, you're different. Your body just doesn't respond well. It's not true. Affirm to yourself, it is easy for me to lose weight. Over the course of my life, a lot of people have come to me for weight loss advice. I always prime them with weight is the easiest thing you can manipulate about your body. It's the easiest thing you can change about your body. If you don't accept it the first few times, keep affirming it to yourself that my weight is the easiest thing to manipulate. I still to this day find myself affirming this without realizing that I'm affirming it, because it's just a part of my thought process. One of my other assumptions, so one of the other things I find myself saying, one of my other affirmations you can say, is that I always think, and I've thought this for the last 15 years of my life, which is that I gain and lose weight very quickly. And I actually find myself saying this even today. Let's say summer's coming up and I want to look my best. I find myself saying, oh yeah, I lose and gain weight very quickly. I say this to people all the time about myself without realizing I'm doing it because I believe it. And so my body behaves that way. Now, I know I'm not going to gain weight if I stick to a healthy diet, which comes to my third belief. I don't have resistance to eating healthy foods. The reason I mention this is because that is what I predominantly eat. I eat healthy foods. I love eating healthy foods, which is an affirmation I actually repeat to myself every time I have a meal. I'm like, God, I love eating healthy. I don't realize I'm saying this in my head, but that is a part of my inner dialogue. So again, another affirmation you can incorporate. That's if you want to eat healthy. You have to understand, like, your mind is going to present to you the path of least resistance. For me, it was eating healthy. I like to eat healthy. It makes me feel like I am taking care of myself. It adds to this bigger picture of self-love, self-care, and I have noticed it has other benefits. Like, my skin is banging when I eat healthy. When I'm eating shit food, I hate the way my skin looks, and because I care about my skin, it's easy for me. There have been moments in my life where the path of least resistance was where I was working out for 3 hours. That didn't feel like hard work to me. Now, anytime I would mention that to someone, they would be alarmed. And I understand, obviously, because now I look back at myself and I'm like, how the hell was I working out for 3 hours? It's because at the time, that is what I enjoyed. I could have gone on for longer. It's kind of changed now. I would rather focus more on nutrition. As I get older, I care more about what I'm eating. I don't really care for training too much today. I was a fitness fanatic for 10 years of my life. There was even a period of my life where I could not go even one day without working out. Like, I was obsessed. That's just not the case for me today. I enjoy cardio more. because I have a belief I gain weight quickly, I gain muscle very quickly. That's not the type of body I want today. I like a slim, sort of feminine kind of body today. I'm not into the whole gym look. Now, if that's what you want, then you want to kind of tell yourself that it's easy for you to gain muscle. You know, you start to look chiseled very easily. I used to think these things when I worked out. Not everyone that goes to the gym looks chiseled, but I did, because that kind of mental image is what I bathed in. I just wanted to be low body fat. I'm not in that sort of fitness gym mentality anymore. I don't care for it today. That's not to say that will always be the case. It's just right now in my life, for the last couple of years, I've really not given a shit. Training is boring to me today. If you enjoy it, please do it. You gotta pick the things you like with the best inner dialogue to support that. As a child, I thought I was different. That belief today has a different connotation to it, has a different feeling behind it. Today, I believe because I'm different, I can achieve it. You see, you can change the connotation behind certain things that started off from a negative point of view. You can just kind of spin it on its head. I'm sure people do that anyway, but that's just a tip. Next thing is that you'll have people in your life that might see you lose weight when people are making comments about what you're eating. And if you're eating different to how you were before, maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a family member, you got to treat it like water off a duck's back. You cannot care. I'm telling you, stop caring. I had a friend, every time I would eat something, he would say to me, "Is that what you're having?" And I was like, the fuck is your problem? Stop commenting on my food. It was so annoying. Just mute it out, okay? You can't pay no heed to it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they think. It does not matter. I mean, I have also been in relationships with people where they have made comments about my weight. People are always going to have something to say about something in relation to your appearance. I have been called fat and ugly, literally have pointed out my hip bones to me and been like, "Oh my God, that looks so weird." I've just been like, I don't care. This is where like your inner dialogue, the way you speak to yourself, is the most important part. And also, guys, what I eat affects the way I think. Therefore, it affects the way I manifest. I don't think straight when I'm eating shit food. I feel like crap. So I don't even want to put myself in that position. I love taking care of myself. I care about my nutrition. I care about what goes inside my body. I am mindful about calories. I don't get too obsessive with it because I don't need to, because I was again into fitness for a large portion of my life. I can literally just look at food as nutrition and fuel. I can kind of work out the macronutrients in that meal and the calorie content. I don't even need to go and look it up. I've just trained myself over the years to think this way about food. I mean, essentially, that's what food is. It is to fuel your body. It is to energize your body. You know, that's not to say don't enjoy yourself, obviously, but I cannot tell you the way that eating consistently bad makes me feel. 3 days is max for me. If I eat bad consecutively for over 3 days, you best believe on the 4th day, I'm going to be the most disciplined version of myself. I mean, I don't eat badly on a consistent basis, but when it's that time of the month, I am a beast. My appetite is ferocious and I will eat anything and everything. I allow myself to, okay? You might think, well, why don't you have found that way? I don't care to. It doesn't really affect my body. I feel like I listen to my body. I feel like that's what my body wants, so I give it that. But I'm not going to continue on that habit once I've had my period. If there is a certain body type that you want, you almost got to like brainwash yourself into seeing yourself having this body. Like, for instance, I used to do this all the time when I was younger. Around when I was 19, I was a huge fan of Rich Froning. This is when I was a fitness fanatic and he was declared the fittest man on earth. Like, I wanted to be him. It seemed like he had a lot of discipline. And I also had this belief growing up that discipline will bring to me what nothing else can. Someone can beat me in whatever department, but they can't beat me in discipline. And because I just find that virtue super attractive, I feel like I must embody that to myself. I feel attractive when I am the most disciplined. And this is why it's very easy for me to, you know, stick to a particular diet, because I don't mind eating the same foods every single day, living a perfunctory lifestyle, living an abstemious lifestyle, because, you know, it's undergirded by discipline. That's attractive to me. You know, fitness and diet are the best ways, actually one of the easiest ways you can do that. Okay, the fourth belief I have, guys, is that I don't mix emotions with food. I don't eat when I'm anxious. I don't eat when I'm bored. I eat when it's time to eat. I decide when it's time to eat. So don't mix emotions with food. You gotta kick that habit out. And the way I do it is that, well, I tell myself this doesn't mean I'm hungry. Like, just because I'm sad doesn't mean I go eat. There's no correlation between the two. You're making it. You've conditioned yourself to behaving this way. It's not a thing, okay? And so this portion of the video is going to be specifically what I eat, in case someone's interested. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about my weight, my height, my waist size, whatever. I am 5'6" and I weigh around 45 kg. I don't work out today. I just do cardio, and that could be anything, honestly. I walk very fast, guys, and I walk everywhere. I brisk walk, which is a habit I picked up because I was always late to my uni lectures. So I brisk walk pretty much everywhere, and my Fitbit used to read 135 beats per minute. That's me walking on a normal day. That's a workout. I also do intermittent fasting. I don't eat for 18 hours, 18 to 24 hours sometimes, if I can really push it. If I'm feeling super hungry, I'll fast only for 16 hours, but most of the time I am fasting for 18 hours every day. Okay, pick your 18-hour window. If you don't know about intermittent fasting, you can go look it up. There is an abundant amount of information on the internet. I pretty much eat the same thing every single day, guys. I eat eggs, I eat salmon, I eat tuna. I'm not a fan of chicken, but I do eat it here and there. I eat lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of vegetables. I love nuts. For my 20% male audience, behave. I drink about 3 liters of water a day. I love tofu, things I don't eat, okay? Or I eat very little of. Don't really eat rice. I don't eat carb-filled meals. I don't eat pasta. I don't like pasta. I don't like rice. I have the opposite problem. I literally don't feel full from pasta. I've never had a bowl of pasta and thought, I'm full. Never happened to me. However, I actually recently I was speaking to someone about their diet, and the person had lost so much weight just from a high carb diet. So that's not to say my diet's the best. It's just what works for me. You got to really follow what your body agrees with. For me, I love fats. And also, in case anyone's interested about my measurements, I'm a 24-inch waist. I know there's a lot of conjecture online whether you should weigh yourself or not. I do. Well, it depends. If I've got a goal to achieve, I will do it every week. If I don't have a goal to achieve, I will do it bi-weekly. It's a good way to track your body. But again, you don't have to if you are triggered by it. I don't find the weighing scales triggering because I weighed myself so much during my life. I don't feel emotional about my weight in any way. I don't care about the scales in that sense. If you can invest in a Fitbit, please do. Work out your maintenance calories. You can do that by finding a maintenance calculator online. I'm sure you guys know this stuff, but in case you don't know, there you have it. And honestly, guys, last bit of advice is that please stop buying into body trends. If it's something you want, obviously, cool, but I don't have the biggest boobs. I don't have the biggest bum. Literally, I couldn't give a shit. You gotta stop caring. It all starts from you, okay? You know this. I don't need to keep saying it. You know this. I hope this was helpful. I will see you guys in my next video.